I'm now being joined by Kola Ologbodiyan, the former spokesman of the People's Democratic Party, who will help us look at issues of reconciliation in the main opposition. He's a former National Publicity Secretary. So good to have you here.
It's great. It's great meeting with you once again.
Yeah. I mean, you must have been following what's going on generally, and then the decision here is that of the candidate, Atiku Abubakar, to get someone for himself as his running mate. What do you make of the choice of Ifeanyi Okowa as the vice presidential candidate of the PDP?
Somna, if you recall our last encounter on this very platform and at this very sitting, I did tell you, and through you told Nigerians and the world, that the decision on the vice presidential flag bearer is essentially and constitutionally that of the candidate.
Including the Electoral Act too. You didn't add that one.
Including the Electoral Act of the candidate. So to me, well, the party is blessed in abundance with resourceful personalities that you can say, if it comes to governance, you will say Governor Wike is nicknamed Mr. Project because of his capacity at deliverables. Governor Udom is a masterpiece on new development and wealth creation. Governor Okowa, whether as a senator, as a commissioner, as a local government chairman, as a governor, is superb in the area of delivery. So when you have the abundance of resourceful persons, you must make a choice, because the office is not meant for 3 persons. Yeah. The office is meant
so
for only one person. So it's left for the candidate to say, I will work with Mr. So, and so. And in this peculiar situation, our party's candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a unifier whom you cannot accuse of taking sides, has nominated Author Ifeanyi Okowa, Senator and Governor, as his vice presidential candidate. My own understanding of the situation is that when we have this type of situation, the party comes first. We must be prepared to make sacrifices in the interest of the party and in the collective and overall interest of Nigerians out there who have suffered untold hardships in the hands of the All Progressives Congress that has turned the entire nation upside down.
Okay. Now, using your experience as a former member of the National Working Committee, a lot of persons are saying that if it indeed is the prerogative of the candidate to choose, why did we have the PDP setting up a committee to help in the search for a vice presidential candidate? And then we heard that there were 3 persons that were nominated, and then there was a voting, and it was like 16-3 for Nyesom Wike and against Ifeanyi Okowa, and then all of a sudden the candidate, of course, eventually went for Ifeanyi Okowa. Now, in all of this, how would there be a reconciliation that can easily help? Why didn't we just go to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar direct for him to just speak without all these issues that have now cropped up? Because no one would have known that there was a voting or all those kind of issues.
Well, Somna, you understand my trajectory. I was a reporter. I was a political editor. I have worked in the environment of governance, whether at the Villa or at the National Assembly or in the judiciary. And I've also read books. I have never heard where the position of vice president or vice presidential candidate that will accompany the presidential candidate is subjected to voting
at all.
That sounds that sounds very strange.
Remember in those days, it used to the VP candidate used to be announced right at the venue where the person emerges.
It sounds very strange to me. I've never heard of that, except in this current situation. And as I speak now, it is still strange to me. However, I am happy you raised the issue of reconciliation. As a matter of fact, after an internal election, for instance, like the kind of national convention that we just had, it is very important for every member, whether low or high, to be conciliatory. And I believe, because I know that the party is structured, and I know that the party has the best of Nigerians as members, people with experiences, and I believe that they are going to come back home. And when I say coming back home, going back into the party to find the best way of reconciliation. To me, and we have demonstrated it, there is no sacrifice that is too huge for us to be able to come together as a united family, and in the interest, like I said before, in the collective interest of those Nigerians out there who are suffering, to ensure that we take this government through the ballot and begin a resetting, which our party believes that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has the capacity to do, a resetting of our nation.
So how would you appeal to those who are aggrieved by this kind of decision? Sometimes it's not even that of the principals, but members or supporters or aides and all of that who are going to town and saying that, look, we don't think that we'll be able to follow this ticket, an Atiku Okowa ticket, or let's just see what we can do anti-party and all those kind of things. How do we, if you were Ifeanyi Okowa now, how would you reach out to those who are aggrieved to be able to, see how they can be a very good reconciliatory ground?
Ifeanyi Okowa is a teacher's son. He's a grassroots person. And he understands the topography of a democratic setting, having been elected into the local government, and he rose through the ranks to get to where he is today, and he has just been nominated as the vice president. So I believe that he understands the trajectory, and I have no doubt in my mind, and I believe that many people who know him, we covered him together in the Senate.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to come to.
We covered him together in the Senate.
He actually served your former boss.
My former boss. He was chairman of Health. He was chairman of Health.
And he delivered. Chairman Senate Committee on Health. Tell us more about
and he worked perfectly with his colleagues. I was on the program today. The moment I left the program, guess who called me? Senator Ike Ekweremadu. Which shows that he has not abandoned his colleagues.
Yeah, who was the deputy president of the Senate then.
And let me tell you another attraction of Senator Ifeanyi Okowa. Go to Delta State and do an aggregate of the staff that surrounds him. They are young men. I can attest to that. I have visited him. Even when he was a senator here, I know the age grade or the ranking of his workers.
So he's youth friendly.
So he's very, very, very youth friendly. And he will deliver. He has the capacity to deliver. And one thing with him, he has a way of smiling that is very friendly. And it doesn't matter whether he has met you before or he knows you. So to me, Okowa has what we are looking for, the qualities that a presidential candidate like Atiku Abubakar should go for.
Now, is this a winning ticket? Do you see it as a winning ticket compared to the APC, Peter Obi Labour Party, and an NNPP led by Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, who happened to be a former member too?
The best that the People's Democratic Party has done ahead of 2023 is that they have given Nigerians a set of unifiers. People talk about Delta State. Oh, that Delta State had been peaceful. And Delta State, like Kogi, where I come from, is a microcosm Nigeria. And as such, a man who can govern the state for 8 years, or 7 years going to the 8th year, and there's not even the littlest of inter-ethnic crisis that will become unmanageable, then if he has the opportunity of governing our nation, you can imagine how he will unite all of us. And take it for the candidate himself, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, whom his supporters call unifier. He has seen it all. He's been through this process. He understands it. He knows the nuances.
He uses experience as a former vice president.
He knows the nuances. He knows the nuances. You hear some things in APC, you just shake your head. And as for me, anybody who is coming to govern Nigeria now in 2023 must have a mind of unity. If he doesn't have a mind of unity, if he's regionated, and he's not going to come and say, look, Nigeria, let's get to work. I don't think we need that. Given our very, very recent experiences, I don't think we need that. And that's where Atiku feels.
Are you trying to hit back at the APC due to the proposal we're hearing of a Muslim ticket by the Tinubu camp and all of that?
You see, Sumner, I'm a Christian. I'm Catholic by denomination. My denomination, the Catholic Church, has utmost respect for other religions. And we don't quarrel, we don't dabble. As a result of that, I will not discuss the issue of Muslim ticket. However, I know it as a Nigerian that Nigeria is a secular state. So if APC, whatever APC brings, maybe we are going to the field together. We will meet at the field, and Nigerians will decide.
Okay, very interesting indeed. Now let's talk about the functions of the vice president. And Okowa has been nominated. If this ticket wins,
we are going to, not if. Well, we are sure of winning.
Okay. Well, you're contending against the governing party.
No.
The APC is the governing party. And you know what it was when PDP was in power. How difficult it was for APC to win the elections itself.
I'm sure you have, even if you have not done the reportage, as I speak, I know you are measuring the speed of voters registration.
Yeah, and you're not also talking about the Peter Obi intrusion in into the PDP's vote in the southeast, and then of course southwest, and then Kwankwanso too in Kano too, eating into your votes. Just like that of the APC.
You see, like I love to say, until it is in politics, it is not. At the convention ground, when we were chatting, I did tell you, don't believe what you are seeing around. Until the last ballot is cast.
We shouldn't believe whatever we're reading on social media.
You understand? I told you. Don't mind all these things here. Wait for the last ballot. It is the last ballot that will determine a winner. So in the same vein, Sumner, whether Peter Obi is doing one party, what's his name? Senator Kwankwaso is doing another party. Until we get to the bridge now. And
coincidentally, these were your former members. Shouldn't you be looking for an alliance?
I say I don't want to go.
Shouldn't you people go into an alliance?
If we are going to go into
the APC is a behemoth.
If actually. The party, which behemoth? Which party? Party that even in Kebbi State, the entire structure of the party is already in PDP. You call that a behemoth?
Well,
the party is
just one state
out
of the 22
you want me to sit down here? You want me to sit down here and be telling you who we are discussing with and who we are negotiating with?
Well, no. I wouldn't mind.
We won't but I will not do that. Because even as we speak, the Emilokons are watching. So as a result of that, we won't go into the details of what we are doing.
Before they steal your ideas.
We won't go into the details of what we are doing. But I can assure you of one thing, Sumner. The People's Democratic Party, led by our presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and with his choice of a vice presidential candidate that is largely respected across the ethnic divisions in Nigeria, will win 2023 election.
Now, how would your party appease to the southeast? We have seen Atiku trying to skillfully get an Ifeanyi Okowa who is in Delta, close to Anambra, and Igbo part of Delta, close to the main Igbo-led region. How do you think that the PDP can try to woo back the southeast? Because there's a lot of grievance against your party in the southeast.
Sumner, in a family, it is not every quarrel between the husband and wife that leads to divorce. Would you agree?
Of course, definitely.
It is not every quarrel between parents and the children that leads to permanent separation. I believe I have seen people who left the party, whom I know, based on my relationships with them, that the party is in their DNA. Wherever they go. Don't forget, I just gave the example of Senator Alero. Senator Alero left the party in 2014, 2015.
Yeah, I mean, who would have even believed that Alero would leave the APC, considering his closeness to Buhari
now
and
he's back.
APC leaders?
He didn't come back alone. The entire structure of the party. So we can sit down here and say that what is left in Kebbi is Governor Bagudu, Atiku Bagudu, and his commissioners. And who said they won't come out, they won't come back at the nick of time? They will. So politics is an interesting business.
So
you understand?
You still insist that the Atiku Okowa ticket is a winning ticket.
I say we are giving a set of Nigerians that believe in the unity of the country, a set of Nigerians that have demonstrated capacity, and you can point at it.
Okay.
A set of Nigerians who will come and work for the people of Nigeria.
All right.
So what else are we looking for? We want to go and bring people who have no idea of how to unite the country?
It's good to see how you're underrating the Emilokon that you talked about. You know, it's a political strategist. Well, we must thank you so much, Kola Ologbodiyan. And we hope to see you in the Presidential Campaign Council, actually, to help out in the prosecution of this presidential campaign ahead of the 2023 polls. Well, that's how it's been for this edition of the Arise interview with leaders from the main opposition, People's Democratic Party. Do join us again tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja, goodbye and thank you for watching. I'm Somna Sambo.